Well, good evening, everyone. It is a Tuesday night, so we're a day late. It's almost been 36 hours since the Niners beat the Rams again. We've got the core team of the Niners DNA mob. We have Jono and Rod. And so I guess the one thing that could be seen to be a good thing about this video is that we've had a bit of time to digest. Like last night, I don't know if we would have done this video, boys. We would have been up and about, and I still am very happy. But as the name of this video is, should we pump the brakes? But we're not going to go there straight away. We're going to talk about the good stuff first. Anyway, how are you, boys? Anyone jump in?
You got
I'm good. I'm still feeling good. Still sort of rolling through everything that you can gather on post game analysis, and just trying to pull that together and sort of make that comprehend that in your own mind and play it out. But yeah, I was very, very pleased with the way that the 49ers performed at Levi South yesterday, and looking forward to seeing how much better we can get with the personnel that we hope to get back.
Yeah, nice one. What about you, Rod? What do you think of the game, mate?
I'm well too. Thanks, boys. Thanks, Pete. Mate, it was I think I wrote on our chat that one of the most pleasing things for me about the game is the way we came back from a deficit scoreline and then dominated really and didn't look. I mean, I was sort of coming and going the back end of the game, but we didn't really give them a sniff getting back into the game. So that was the most pleasing aspect of the win for me. Like we've had times there where we've sort of been behind by a one score, and you have never, like, there's been feelings at times when we give the ball back to them after going 3 and out in previous weeks I'm talking about, and there's just that feeling that how are we ever going to get points? But this was the points seem to be coming a lot easier than they have, and we think we are. I think you think we all know the reason for that.
Yeah, I think a very poignant stat, mate, is that at halftime, if Shanahan is 4 points down, it's 7-29. So we win 7, we lose 29. That is now, what is it, 7-30? No, 8-29. But you're right. There was a gentleman, and let's go straight to it, that has joined our team called Christian McCaffrey, and he is I thought he was good. I didn't know he was. He can do everything. Throw touchdown passes. What about that triple threat? That triple crown?
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal performance from him, and have good things out from him. And I'll say as well, like I didn't think he was that type of athlete. Like I think that the bloke could genuinely play wide receiver, and that's it, because he's that good as a wide receiver, which it gets into the major factor that he is, that he's going to make any quarterback. Like I know it's Jimmy at the moment until Lance is here, but he is the best security blanket that you can have, because you can check down to him and he will create something every single time virtually because of the way that he can move as a running back. Like he is. You talk about the wide back with Deebo Samuel. Like this is the guy to take the mantle for me. Like and 149 yards all purpose.
Yeah,
like that's ridiculous.
And it's no coincidence that Jimmy had his best game, is it? Correct. Really?
Yeah,
that it's not a coincidence because he had that option. I heard the Locked On boys through the week, and Eric Crocker. I think it was Eric Crocker. I listened to a lot of them, and he was saying you've got Christian CMC, who is a running back who can play receiver, and then you've got Deebo, who's a receiver who can play running back. So we've got it all. So like with that combination, like there's really no excuses for our offense not to be clicking into gear and seeing what we saw yesterday, really, on Sunday.
There was so many times where Jimmy was able to progress through his reads and he didn't panic as much as what I've seen in the past. Like, yeah, he gets that shuffle, he gets that tap on the ball and all that sort of business. And that's the sort of telltale signs that you see Jimmy starting to panic and he's starting to not be able to get there. But if Christian McCaffrey's his last read or his first, I don't care what read he is, he just knows that wherever he needs to get to, like if Christian's the last read, he can go, nah, bang, I'm just going to go here and good things will happen.
I think he's a better look. This is no slide on Debo. I think he's a better player than Debo. I think I'm just putting this. We're going to have a look at a few things. We're going to look at his touchdown pass and his catch. The athleticism of this guy is second to none. His hands are like glue. He's almost like the Freddie Fittler. If our American viewers don't know who that is, Fred Fittler was a lock come 5'8", come center. Yeah, that could do anything on the football field or on the rugby league field. Christian McCaffrey is a better athlete than him. And the jump to get, like, the way that play, and let's just press play and we can just talk over it. But this was the exact same play, wasn't it?
Yeah, you don't undersell here. Like, obviously he's gone in motion, but Brandon Ayuk, they're all setting up for Christian McCaffrey, like bubble screen kind of.
That's right.
Play, and BA just releases into the backfield, and he is wide open, and it's just a beautiful pass.
That looks so sweet.
Oh, it's so good. What's this angle? Boom.
Like it's so but that kind of concept and play design is so good. Like that's so clever.
Well, that's what we need, mate. This is what I don't know if you remember, boys, but I probably should. I said in our preview, and not beat my own drum. I said it's going to be the restoring of Kyle and Jimmy back to the duo that has given us so many nice, so many exciting moments as as fans. I'm going to go to the next one.
It's just while you're getting there too. Like I saw, and I don't know whether Rod you saw it as well. There was a tweet around, I don't know if it was a conversation, but they were talking about this. Kind of puts paid to the whole notion that that Kyle Shanahan can do whatever he wants with any running back, because like no running back can do that, and no running back is kind of, like he's completely kind of transformed. I think the confidence in the team and the kind of swagger in the offense and the things that they can do now that are at their disposal. Like this hopefully was just a drop in the ocean of what's to come.
Agreed. Unbelievable.
So what do you think? So this is my question. All right. So he touched the ball 27 times. That includes the touchdown pass, 18 receiving, 18 rushing, and 7 receptions. Here we go. We've got some comments. I hope it's not these crates. Sorry, guys. I hope it's not. Yes, it is. I've got to block these people. Hot girls. What's going on here? Sorry.
It's all coming in.
It's all coming in. So anyway, I guess what I was saying is that so Jeff Wilson, I don't think he used enough. I think at the end of the game, he should have got CMC the hell out of there.
100%.
Throwing it, getting him up to the tackles. Come on, Kyle. And the question I'll throw to you guys is twofold. 27 times, is that sustainable? And how does Kyle have the wherewithal to be able to combine Elijah Mitchell, CMC, and Debo?
Well, you go, Jono.
No, go for it. You fire away,
mate. I don't think it's sustainable. I mean, and putting the ball in his hands either way, all-purpose yards, 27 times is just, in my opinion, it's asking for trouble, because he's got to be used judiciously. And Pete, you drew attention to it. You mentioned it on the chat. Why was he still toting the rock in that garbage time when he could have even had who's the kid Mason. He won't play? Mason. He could have had him up.
Yeah. Jordan Mason or Ty Davis Price. Like
Yeah,
like
the
I
game
agree.
was
I agree.
out of reach. You know, give the kids a chance to go. I'm like I love sort of a running back committee. I'm a big fan of that. But Pete, the salient question the salient point you make, and you ask the question, how does he fit all of these riches into a scheme? And this is when we're going to find out whether he's the true offensive genius that everyone talks about.
I think there is like I agree, Rod. I'm pro development of players. So I think that when you're in a situation when you're up 31-14 and there's 4 minutes on the clock, like I think the game is out of reach. So that's the perfect time to have your guys like Jordan Mason and Ty Davis Price getting touches, getting part of the game, because it's about what they can do moving forward. And so I'm pro that. I think he's got to throw a little bit more wrinkles in. I'd like to see him have a little bit more in when Debo comes back in. I think, giving Debo the 2 or 3 touches from the running back position to take some of the load off Christian McCaffrey. I think Elijah Mitchell coming back gives Kyle Shanahan someone who he can trust. And as much as he likes, I mean, I like Jeff Wilson Jr., Pete. I know that you do as well. Elijah Mitchell is in front of him on that chart when he's back and he's healthy. So it probably pushes Jeff down to running back 3. So I would like to see exactly talking about, and then when players come back healthy, like Debo and Elijah Mitchell, that kind of reduces Christian McCaffrey's load in the running game. And I'd also like to see probably a little bit more of a balance in his pass, to see him more in the receiving game as well. 18 rushes versus 8. I'd just like to see them balance that out a little bit more. I think that's where you get a little bit more usage out of Christian McCaffrey long term. We're not talking this season. We're talking, like I want him still doing the things that he does 3-4 years down the track.
I would use McCaffrey as a bubble screen and a slot receiver. He's too good to be a running back. Like, maybe.
But he's so good. He's so good between the tackles, though. Like
he's so good.
He dives forward. He gets kind of that 7 to 8 yards and carries consistently. When you think he's only going to get 3-4, like it's impressive. Like I didn't think that he was that good.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's like,
but it's going to come with wearing. There's a couple of there's times where he runs and in my head I'm there going, get up.
Yeah, I'm so scared. Like, when he got hit by Jalen Ramsey and the ball got pumped out, I was like, oh no, is he going to be knocked out and all that sort of thing. So I think we need we're all, I think we could safely say that we're all fans of Trey Lance, the 3 of us. We want him in next year. We need CMC healthy for a long time. That running between the tackles, for me, it's not about, it's about making this guy, treating him like, the precious, not the precious, but just the explosive guy that he is. And I think if we use him too much up between the tackles, we're just going to shorten his career time. And I want him to be there for Trey. I want him to be there this year, obviously, for Jimmy, because Jimmy always had that option underneath. And that's why he was able to. We're going to have a look at a little bit later, that beautiful seam pass. And we'll go to Jimmy's second half performance in a minute that he got to Dwelly. But let's just have a look at this. Just the way his hands and the way he jumped. Sorry, I didn't even have it in the.
This is the touchdown too, isn't it?
This is the touchdown, and
the receiving touchdown.
Yeah, watch him spike the ball. It's like a statement. It's unbelievable.
Running backs don't do this. This is
no, they don't.
And Greg Olsen sort of Greg Olsen, he loves him as a former teammate, but he nailed it. Like he just put it right on the NFL logo, and to see if running back climb the ladder, as they say, and just go up for that catch, it's ridiculous. And Jimmy's going through his reads. Like they got good coverage. Like no one's open. No one's open. They're on scramble play.
Man, that was incredible. I've got to see that again. Don't know why this happens sometimes with this bloody thing.
Just keep it running. Just keep it rolling. Just there.
Bang. Look at that.
That's a beautiful still shot of that, wasn't it? The one you put up.
Yeah, unbelievable.
That was just fantastic.
But he's such a football player because of the way that he just drifts out there and goes, I've got to be there for my quarterback. But the other person who had a great game was Banks.
Yep.
Yeah, like I mean, let's talk about Banks because my God, the kid was a bust 12 months ago, according to anyone who had anything had seen him do anything at any kind of practice session, and they weren't using him. Like this is like you got to praise the guy for changing his body, going through that process, and we're still sitting here. You know, they're at bye week now, almost midway through the season, and he has not allowed a sack.
He has not.
Did you see his one arm takedown of Aaron Donald?
Yeah,
that's right. He was up against Donald the whole time.
It was beautiful,
mate. Unbelievable. And I think it's our SF49ers. You know, Brad, the guy with the ringer. Yeah. Sorry, Brad. That's what we call people that are in chair. He was sort of doing some film, some game tape, and you could see, and it was really fascinating for me because you could see that, and he was talking technical because he was an O-lineman in his day, Brad was, how he shifts his head outside of Donald's head, which causes his hips to sort of come and follow and be able to swing him out of the way and use his strength and Donald's strength against him. Exactly. So I think Banks has got to be like, what do you call it? Like, can you call him rookie?
I don't know. I don't know the rules around. Can you call him a rookie if you can't? They virtually like red. What they do is like that's a red shirting essentially. Like you don't play that whole season. I'm not sure what it is to take for the rookie. And like the whole O line has probably become almost a equally or if not better pass protection unit, particularly like on the interior than a run. You know, like a run offense. You know, Spencer Burford's probably having a little bit of some issues. Like he let Banks blast through on that one, but that was just the whole kind of loud cadence call, and he was looking at the center, and the snap's gone before he's looked back. Yeah, and by the time he's there, Donald's gone, and it's just like I mean, they're just the little things that you expect a rookie to have problems with, but you know, like he's another one that's kind of just been plodding along and doing his thing, and you know, like we're and learning and living through the lumps that he's going to have, and that's what I mean. I love that in terms of player development.
Yeah, and they've got the king on the end to teach them the ropes and to pull it all.
McGlinchey, do you mean?
Pete's favourite player.
Oh, he's got to go. Like, well, to be fair to him, he did own up some stuff last week, saying he's got to be better and.
But I don't know if he was much. I don't know if he was much better, but he's definitely he's owning it. But he's having a rough old time, Mike McGlinchey.
And the center's been playing better too. Brendel's been playing better.
Yeah.
He's had the last couple of weeks. He's been better, and of course we've got old Brunskill who seems to let us down, especially playing against Donald. He loves playing against Donald. Give us the Rams every week, like Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's
his son, isn't it?
It is. It's his son. Yeah. Just on the subject of unsung heroes, boys, I thought Ross Dwelly filling in for Juice, unbelievable. He did it last year, and we talked about it prior to the game that was a possibility, and he did. He started there again, and he was great.
Yeah, he was.
Mate, beautiful segue there. I don't know if you read my mind there, Rodders, but look at this pass. So let's move on to Jimmy. I think Jimmy had his best game that he's had since 2019. His first half was, I was frustrated with him, but his second half was unbelievable. Like he was a proper quarterback. Have a look at this pass up the stairs. And how many times has he overthrown this? Oh, I've got to bloody put it in the stream. Come on, mate. What's going on here? How many times has he overthrown this? Our little mate, Dwelly. See, good protection.
I don't know what this outside corner's thinking. He's just like, I don't know. Don't worry about him.
Don't know what the hell he was thinking. But he never drops the ball. I mean, he did that last time. Just went straight through his hands. And that led to a touchdown.
But again, this is probably like, thinking of the cornerback just letting him just blow by buy him. But this is probably as a result of the Christian McCaffrey factor again. Like, they're setting everything up between the numbers and everything that they're like, oh, he's just sending him that way. I don't need to worry about him, and opens you up.
He was quite happy with himself, wasn't he? I would have been, because he's finally that pass is finally. Ramsey's a grub, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't like Ramsey. Don't like
him.
I
don't mind him because he's got this good little podcast, and he seems like he's quite, self-aware, but this is the sort of the stuff.
But if he wants to have a crack at 42-year-old field goal kickers in Robbie Gold,
what the hell was that?
Come on, mate, come on.
Yeah,
Robbie He was looking for the 15-yarder.
Yeah,
he was.
And Tabor Pepper even said, "Don't," because the long snapper Tabor was going to jump out and protect him, and they said, "No, let me go."
Yeah.
Let's see how I go.
He and then apparently after that he went on the sideline to DeAndre Kendrick or something like that.
He blasted the outside cornerback.
Did Kyle do that as well? Did Kyle get into DeAndre?
Kyle
got
Shanahan.
into Anthony Lynn.
Yeah, Kyle got into Anthony Lynn for subbing Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah,
he subbed him out and the play was for Christian, obviously, and he looks up and there's Jeff Wilson Jr. and he just ripped him.
So I think we've got Ed online. Ed online, mate. Mate, send me a if you want to, Ed, if you're there, send me another message with a yes, and I'll send you a link, mate, and you can join us. Your call, mate. You might be having dinner, I don't know, but anyway,
probably out to dinner on the drink now, and Ed.
Oh, mate, he's always out on the piss doing something, aren't you, Ed?
Yeah.
Tuesday night, no stopping him.
It's his favourite night of the week. But yeah, Jimmy at 21 of 25, 84% completions, 2 touchdowns.
84%.
He looked after. I mean, he probably should have got picked by Jalen on that one pass to start the second half. God bless him.
I don't think we can put you on, brother. Come on, it's the DNA.
Let's get you home.
Let's get you home, brother.
Give us a thumbs up if you had a win. Big horse race today, everyone.
Oh, you must have been at the races. Yes, he must have been. So
give us a thumbs up if a winner, Ed.
I don't think anyone backed that copy. But anyway, just getting back to Jimmy, I was really, I've definitely credit where his credit is due, because he was. I can't. Tell me, what do you think?
He was on the money. He targeted Brandon Ayuk was probably the only wide receiver out there. To be fair, that after losing Debo, and he hit him 6. He had 6 targets. BA took every single reception, and he had 81 yards. He had the touchdown pass from Christian McCaffrey to him as well. Brandon Ayuk had a great game, but that was sort of that's done because he everything that Jimmy threw hit him on the button, and you can't ask for more.
I think I'm probably more of a Jimmy lover than you, Pete. You tend to be a bit harder on him, but even someone like me who likes him, whenever he throws, you usually have your heart in your mouth, especially when Shanny's got him dropping back and trying to play this catch-up stuff when he goes away from the run, as has been happening the last couple of weeks. But to me, this week, there was always that sense of control, and as just a fan watching, there wasn't that sense of heart in the mouth stuff when he was throwing. And, I think that also comes back to the confidence, Jono, that you alluded to, that CMC brings to the side. And it starts with your QB, because he was always there.
Mm.
Well, I'm just going to send this link to Ed and just see how he goes. Give me a sec. But one of the things that I wanted to go back to was the fact that the adjustments that you mentioned, Rod, was, and I think again it was it was the Rams, and we'll get to this a little section at the moment, but there were so many things that I thought that was just a bit of a perfect storm for Jimmy to play really well. But I think the main factor, and the other thing too, is that the more that we know that Shanahan's teams, they start slow. They didn't start slow in 2019. That's the thing. 2020, was a bit of a bastard case of a year. Last year we started slow again, but yeah, I just think. They
were good with the adjustments, and to be fair, going into the end of the first half, it felt like the same old 49ers again because we drove down the field.
That's right.
There was some clunkiness around the play calling. We ended up kicking a field goal, so we didn't convert on a red zone opportunity, which the Rams had. They'd kind of marched down the field to score 2 touchdowns, and we couldn't match it with them. And then all of a sudden it's 14-10, and you're like going, all right, is this going to be the same bus ride? Because if it is, get me off. Like, Eddie needs to get off the bus. But the adjustments were made. Defensively they made adjustments. Offensively they made adjustments. Special teams was better. Like, you talk about a guy that's copped a lot of flack. Not from me because he put some money in my back pocket, but Ray McLeod was outstanding. Not in the offensive game, but in the special teams game. Like, he was there and thereabouts. And
here he is.
Oh, here he is.
Where are you, Ed?
No, I'm at Manly Vale, and we're about to get off the B-line. But I'm on the B line. And, mate, I'd like to say I just had to join because the Niners game yesterday, I caught up late, but it was absolutely phenomenal. Mate, I've tuned in late, but it was great. Ray, I've been a big, hater of Ray. I mean, he did well, but, it was a fantastic game in all phases of the game.
Yeah, look, the next thing I wanted to go to was thanks for there's a bit of background noise. Was this one, boys? And I don't want to, and like I know that Scotty calls me and Ed, negative Nellies and stuff like that. But let's think about who. So we've beaten in this year. We've beaten 3 teams. We've beaten the Rams twice. We've beaten
Hawks,
the Panthers, and the Seahawks. And so I think we turned a corner, but did we turn the corner? And I'll go to Ed first. Did we turn the corner as big as the whole fandom has? Are we getting a little bit carried away? Should we pump the brakes a little bit more?
No, I think we have turned the corner, and you and I, Pete, we're as you said, we're negative Nellies, but ultimately, I reckon we've turned the corner. I mean, like if you look at the roster, we've got CMC. I reckon ultimately, like, we have the absolute roster to do it. I reckon we turn the corner. If you look at one of the things that has done it for me, in terms of the thing that impressed me the most, is that Shanahan turned it around. We've always been very critical in terms of, when a team gets on top of us by 3 points, 6 points, 10 points, we always go down. What's Shanahan? 1 in fucking 30 in terms of the amount of times we've had a lead or we've given away a lead. One of the most impressive things against the Rams was the coaching around and the company. Well,
I couldn't hear him.
I think he was going through there. He was going through DY.
Yeah, hang on. I'll put a comment there.
That's all right. I mean, I like to carry on what Ed was talking there. Like, he was just sort of talking about obviously the coach and Shanahan sort of getting himself when he got himself into positions where he falls behind, because this team's he loves to lead from the front. He loves to have this to have his plays run out the way that he expects them to jump out to a 10 point or 14 point lead and then control possession, control the clock. That's where he feels most comfortable. It's when he falls behind that he tightens up and kind of goes away from the things that worked for him, and that was probably that was what Ed was getting. The point he was getting to was that he didn't go into his shell, and he kept on keeping to the way that we play football, the best way that he can utilize the players, and that was what worked for us. Like the offensive adjustments, just to keep on working through the way that we play, that sort of balance between running the ball and passing the ball. And you just stick to what you know and stick to what you do well, and good things will happen. And they did on Sunday. Rod, did you want to talk about how you felt around pumping the brakes, or you're up and about?
I've got a couple of things to say about that. I heard, listening to George Kittle's press conference afterwards, he's you boys would have heard, he said, "Oh, look, I wish we didn't have the bye this weekend because looks like we figured this thing out." So to me, that's a sign that everything's starting to click. You combine that with the fact that we've got all these boys coming back after bye week and coming back to our almost full strength roster, probably with the exception of Kinlaw, we'll get everyone back. Excuse me. The thing that does worry me, despite all that, and where I think we do pump the brakes, there's no one in the NFC, in my mind, despite the records of the Eagles and the Giants, who are 7-0 and 6-2 or 6-1. I don't really fear any of those sides in the NFC, and maybe I'll bring the ire of those supporters down on us, but it's the AFC teams that scare me, those big-armed quarterbacks who have legs underneath them, and I'm talking about Allen and Mahomes. You've seen what Patrick Mahomes can do to us. Admittedly, we were right off our game, and he had the best game of any quarterback measurably since about 2000, apparently, according to statistics. But it's like I've always said at the beginning of the year that we would play the Bills in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I think they're the best AFC team, and I think we're the best NFC team. Now, if things go according to plan, I think that's what would happen. Does it scare me playing Josh Allen on the big stage? And I think it does.
Well, so we've all seen that meme, right? That meme on Twitter that it's the Jimmy Jimmy experience.
The cycle.
The cycle plays well against or let's just say, this is what the meme says, against a bad team. We're all happy, everyone's calling, Super Bowl. Then we go to, we play a good team, he gets beat, we hate him, sack him. And then he plays another team, and he plays the next team and he wins, and we want it. That it's because they reel us in and they reel us out. They reel us in and they reel us out. They didn't do that at the back half of last season. They've been doing it at the start of this season and the start of last season. Looking at our schedule, right? Chargers at home. Chargers haven't been going that well. If someone
it is exactly the definition of what Rod's talking about, a big armed quarterback who has got legs underneath.
Exactly.
So there is an element there that I am we've got the bye, and I just want to get into watching some Chargers games and get my head around what it is that they do. Because he's the type of player that can unpack us.
Yeah. They're 4-3, Pete. They're not going that badly.
Yeah, they're not going that badly, right? So sorry, someone was just saying that they were. I think it was. They
were heavily sort of considered big time sort of top three team in the league, and they probably haven't performed to that lofty heights.
Maybe they're like us.
Yeah.
Maybe they're slow starters. We don't know.
We've got two games against the Squirrel coming up from the Cardinals.
That's right.
And I don't like that. That's not a good matchup for us with Kyler Murray.
Never is.
There's some mobile quarterbacks that we're going to have to face, and we're going to have to do well.
They play the Falcons, then they play us. So they have a bit of an easy game, and then they come into us, and they've got the Kansas City Chiefs. The Cardinals, we've got the Cardinals, then we've got the Saints, always give us a bit of trouble. Then we've got the Dolphins, Buccaneers, Hawks, Commanders, Raiders, Cardinals. So we're at 4-4, right? So if let's look at the remaining games. Let's be a little bit on the cautious side and say we get beat by the Chargers, right? That's 4-5. Say we beat the Cardinals. That's 5-5. New Orleans Saints. Do we beat them?
Yep.
Okay, that's 6-5. Dolphins. Do we beat them?
Dolphins
yes.
started well. They started well, but they've people are working them out, I think.
6-5. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That'll be 7-5 against
7-5.
The Dolphins against the Dolphins.
Yeah, no, 7-5 we beat the Buccaneers, right? Seattle Seahawks, they usually give us hell. So let's say that's 7-6. Washington Commanders, 8-6. Raiders, and we beat the last two. That is, what is that? 9 Sorry.
No, I think you missed you did miss the count on the Dolphins. If that goes, it all goes that way. That's 11-6.
Okay, 11-6
on a 17-game schedule.
We need 6 more wins, essentially.
I think 10 wins, Rod. I agree. I think 10 wins is the marker for the playoffs and potentially the division.
So Chargers, we got to beat. We either out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can only drop 3 games.
Yep.
6 and 3.
So let's say that they will probably be. So one of them, let's say one of them's the Chargers. One of them is the Dolphins, and one of them is maybe the Raiders at home. They might get hot. We don't know.
But here's the flip side of that thinking, Pete. Remember last year we came out of the bye at 3-5, and we went on a run because, as George said, we worked it out. And I think this year we're a better roster. We're a better side. We've got all those troops coming back on both sides of the ball. So I think 6 and 3.
It's really hard, isn't it?
I'll be disappointed if we don't get 6 wins out of those 9 games. Would you feel the same, boys?
Yep. I think that's a reasonable request of this team.
Yeah. So as Ed said, we've got so many coming back post-bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're winning all of those. Well, hang on. We're beating Chargers, Cards, Miami.
He's up and about.
He's up and about. He's had a big day, and he certainly loves beating his own flock.
Oh yeah, like this game, that game against the Dolphins is going to be massive.
Yes.
Yeah. Massive.
Yeah, huge.
There's a lot of pride on the line on that game.
Well, that's the thing. That's his right-hand man.
Yeah.
That's
12 years they've been together.
It's the apprentice coming back into his house.
Yeah, we got Scotty. Scotty, how are you, Scotty? Good to see you.
Scotty.
Watching, mate. It's about you. I would expect that the whole bloody CMC era chat would be watching, but anyway.
So in terms of pumping brakes, like I think it's I'm not one to completely slam the brakes or completely press the accelerator. I do want to see how we all come back after the bye, because I am hoping, as Ed was talking about, we hope to see Armstead back. If he can get through this next period, and then hopefully Debo joins us on the offensive line. Kyle Juszczyk will be right with his finger post surgery. Jason Verrett is obviously a move. I'm very interested. I know the trade deadline in the US is probably passing in about 12 hours time now. They cut Willie Snead today.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. The trade deadline, okay?
So they've cut Willie Snead to open a roster spot. I don't know why they've done that. I don't know if it's about designating somebody off IR, but then
I'll toss one up for you, mate. OBJ.
Yeah, I'm hearing that too.
So am I. But who's he going? How can Shanahan?
He'd be a gun for hire. He's a gun for hire if you go on OBJ. I saw OBJ. Is it is it Tom Brady that wants out? Is it Aaron Rodgers? Like, are we at that level? I don't know whether those teams are sort of going to throw away their quarterback at this point, nor do we actually want to sort of move off Jimmy Garoppolo. But yeah, like OBJ is there, and it could just be.
You know who we worked out? We worked out. I'm trying to think of the other guys' names, but we worked out a guy who has been with Shanahan on multiple occasions, and he's about 52. Who do you think it was? He's a wide receiver.
Don't know.
Come on.
Not McCaffrey's brother.
It's the most popular name in the world.
Smith.
Mohamed Sanu.
Oh,
well, has he? No.
Yes. They bloody worked him out. Like, what are you doing?
He was born the same year as me, Mohammed.
Jesus.
Oh.
No, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, I like why they would make that move there. Just it's prior to a trade deadline, unless you're not looking to get someone.
They're working out wide receivers. What does that? Are they lost faith in Juwan Jennings?
Yes, or he's more banged up than we think. Same as potentially is Debo more banged up?
Well, this is the thing, is he? Because hamstrings. Remember 2020? He didn't. How many games did he play?
Yeah, and hamstring was the issue. And I mean that was the thing.
That's
like
right.
He came in overweight. He never really got his weight under control in terms of like he hasn't looked as good as he looked last year this year in terms of his weight and his like if you're carrying a bit of pull, doing a hamstring is a bad situation.
There you go. Scotty said.
All right.
The level of Jennings' injury. I did admit when I saw our wide receiver depth chart coming into our game on Sunday, I was worried. You had BA at 1 and Ray at 2, and if it wasn't for CMC being an all-purpose back, we might have struggled.
Yeah, you're right. So
I don't know whether Sanu's the answer. I don't know what he offers you.
Sanu's not the answer. No way. Whether he did that because he's because he would have got him off the street.
Yeah.
Would you pick up the phone to Belichick and bring Kendrick Bourne back?
No. I love Kendrick. He's got great hands. Maybe, I don't know. What do you think, Rod?
I think Kendrick Bourne's days with us are done. I think it'd be a retrograde step to bring him back personally. But we always had question marks about when he was here with us. I don't know. I personally did have some question marks about him when he was here. He always promised so much and often under delivered in my mind.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm being a bit harsh on him. Sorry, Scotty. I'm not a negative Nelly.
No, mate, come on. You got to be honest. We got to stand up.
I'm just thinking of someone familiar, at least with
that's right.
With the offense right. that can step in and go, no worries.
I used to love him, but he's getting
he's in the doghouse over there at the Patriots. He's not.
Yeah, he is.
He's not seeing any time.
No. Well, look, gentlemen, we should leave it there. We've probably got kids and lesson stuff to put together for tomorrow, boys. Scotty, I'm a glass half full guy. Well done, Scotty. We love you, mate. We love you. All right, so good show, boys. I think we've got a lot to. I like bye week because it gives us a chance to get healthy, but I hate it because I don't get to watch Niners football. Yeah. The Sunday night, on Sunday night, it's like Christmas for me. I'm like, oh yes, I'm getting up, we're watching the footy. But yeah, any parting thoughts, boys?
Oh no, I mean we didn't touch too much on the defense side of the board. Like I thought Fred Warner was outstanding.
Yeah, he was.
He was back to old Fred. 12 tackles, 5 solos, 1 sack, tackle for loss, pass defense. Like he was a missile. So I was really happy with him, and the fact that they shut down Cooper Kupp was really impressive. He had 73 yards in the first half, and I was thinking, oh, here we go, and like he's right on target for my bet as well. But then he comes out in the second half and has 6 yards, and you're like, oh,
killed Pete's multi.
Killed the multi, But it was great from the defense. I just thought, they were great again, and kudos to our defensive coordinator D'Amico Ryans as well.
Yeah.
I think he. I don't know what the bloody hell Scott is talking about. Is the poop deck really what I think it is? Anyway, all right. Let's end it there. And say a very good night to John O'Rosconi, Rod Tuckerman of the Niners DNA team. We'll see you very soon. Might do some classic Simpsons line, he says. Right, okay. All right, well, it's a good night from the Niners DNA team. We'll see you very, very soon. Good night, guys.